Hey beautiful souls, I'm Yvette and welcome to my channel where we give the tea and the sparkle, and today I'm really going to talk about something really unique, and I'm going to pose a question to you. First of all, how are you being called to lead? Now, on this channel we have all kinds, but many of us have very special, unique, elevated gifts. Many of us are empaths, we're star seeds, we're light workers, we're healers. We do all kinds of incredible things. And of course we always operate in the light, right? And so many of us are called, you are chosen, but what I want to say is, how are you using your gifts? How are you stepping up? How are you healing? How are you being called to uplift the vibration of this planet right now? Are you being really shy and tentative? You're not sure. You have lots of reasons why you can't, or are you really going gung ho, or are you just kind of like waiting for somebody else to lead? That's my question, because many of us with gifts, we are being called at this moment in this time to lead, and we all do it in our own unique ways, is what I'm hearing. Okay, now I used to think back when, before I knew who I was, that a high priestess or a healer or what have you had to look a certain way, right? They had to, like, in my mind, they looked really kind of mysterious. They wore like all of these sort of like clothes that were sort of like exotic and kind of like, I don't know, kind of like flowy and kind of ornate kind of thing with jewelry and yeah, I think you get the picture. Okay, they looked really like they operated in a sort of like really grounded, sort of different kind of way. Okay, and yeah, they do, definitely, and of course they don't as well. They operate and they look like people just like you and I, and of course it takes all kinds to make a world. So I'm just saying that as a leader, you can show up as your authentic self. As a matter of fact, once you step up, you can be more of who you are. Okay, and all I want to say right now about that is, being called to lead is a very, very unique kind of calling, because nothing prepares you for it, first of all, and you kind of have to, like, you operate from a different space. Like, we're taught in our lives to use our minds, and our mind is a powerful thing, and of course it definitely is, but also when we are connecting to our divine gifts, we are operating from the heart, right? And so that's sort of like a different language. It's definitely a different vibration, and it's operating from that intuition. And of course we are a vessel for communication, messages, what have you, from the divine, from the 5D, as we call it, right? And we are a vessel, and that vessel, to be in full integrity, should be healed, or at least healed enough. Okay, because we're always healing, we're always evolving. And it takes a lot of courage, because like I said, it can get kind of crazy sometimes. It's like we don't really know what's happening until we know what's happening. And it could be a little bit like people kind of run from it sometimes, or some of us always have had it, but it's like when we kind of like decide to really like say, okay, I'm ready, and then we're ready. So we kind of like hinder, we kind of like just kind of turn our backs on it until we feel like we are ready to accept that, because it can be kind of different if you don't really have the support and the guidance around you. But definitely it is a gift. So how are you being called to lead with your unique gift? And I'm hearing that it's like Now is the time more than ever. This world needs you. It needs your light. It needs you to shine and stand in your power to help uplift the vibration, okay? Because we operate at a higher vibration than many, okay? Let's put it that way. With all due respect, it's like, it definitely is a journey, and it's definitely that something that you have to continually like nurture. This is what I'm finding in my journey, you know? And like, for example, before I answered the call, you know, I thought I knew who I was. And I was good at being who I was. And I kind of prided myself in being who I was. But I kind of knew all along that who I was not enough. You know, I was just kind of like waiting for like something to happen and expecting something different to happen in life. And all along it was always there. But I never imagined in a million years that part of my life purpose is to not only heal myself, but heal my bloodline, okay? Because when I heal, it heals my bloodline. 7 generations, back and front. Can you imagine that? It's like, when you really think about it, it's like you ask yourself, like, how did that happen? Like, when did I say that, you know? Really? And you kind of feel like, wow, do I have all this power? Or like, how am I gonna do that? And the crazy thing is that you were chosen. This is why they say chosen, okay? Like, in your sort of like bloodline, or your ancestors, before you got pushed out of the womb, and it was like they said, okay, this is the one that's gonna do this. It doesn't mean you're gonna do everything, because you know you have your own personal things that you're here to do as well, but you have a very unique and very important mission in your ancestral bloodline. And what I'm learning is that many of us are called here to break ancestral patterns, okay? Because we inherit more from our bloodline, our ancestors, than just our looks or our culture, or, you know, what have you. It's like we are called to break habits, or, as they say, curses, you know. We are called to heal, like help heal karma as well. Like maybe that karma or that deficit in the bloodline, which continues generation after generation, maybe it ends with you. Maybe you're the one, like you are the one that can heal. And it could be anything from like, health issues, or financial like lack, or just having a predisposition for not being able to have a happy sort of home family life, or whatever. It could be anything. We never know until we know. And as I grow and evolve in my journey, it's like I have learned a lot about me and where I come from in terms of like my ancestral bloodline. And what I'm learning is that I have been called to heal certain things in my bloodline. And I'm like, wow, like this is a lot. Like, no wonder it starts to make sense, like why this didn't happen, and you know why everything is like that. You know, it's like you're playing this role and you're the star, and in the spirit world, it's like all of these souls, these ancestors are working with you. They're counting on you, and they know that when you win, everybody wins, right? And so once you're aware of that, it's very powerful. It's very like you have to really collect yourself. It's like I had to like really like say, whoa, I can't believe you guys put me up for that. Like you know me, you know me, and I'm like this kind of girl, and I don't have any, I'm not trying. I don't have. How can I do that? And this is part of your divine purpose for many of us. And so once you know that, you realize that you're not alone, number one, and number two, you start to understand that how important and how powerful that is. It doesn't matter, whose fault it is or what happened or whatever. The important thing is that you are the person to change things for like generations. And that in itself is like, it changes your life in a really kind of good way, because you start to understand that, okay, well, I'm not alone and I can do this. And of course it benefits me, or in your case, like you as well, right? And I know you want that. But not only that, the abundance that like comes with it is like, immeasurable. It changes your life, really. It changes your life because you start to understand who is controlling everything, and it's definitely like not being controlled by the 3D. Definitely not. We are merely like players or puppets or actors or what have you, say spirits, okay, and human form, they're playing a role, okay. And then of course, once we're here, of course everybody wants to be really good and have a great life, and they want to be they want to leave a legacy, and they want to really, I guess, how can I say this? It sounds so like simple, but it's not as easy as I'm thinking. It's like, let me see if I can get the word out, okay? It's like everybody wants to feel joy. They want simple things. They want love. They want to live abundantly. They want to be healthy. They want to live a long life. But then on top of that, you want to kind of like say, oh, okay, I'm here to break patterns, I'm here to change something in my bloodline. And really, for me, I had to think of it like this. Don't think about the bloodline part, okay? Because it seems so grand. It's like for you, because it is you too. So when you change it for you change it for your bloodline. That's a bonus. But because you do that, you definitely get a lot, let's just say rewarded, okay, from the spirit world. Okay, so breaking family curses. It could be even like just, like I was meeting with a women's group, and we were talking about relationships and families and so forth, and how generation to generation, in terms of like families and the broken families that many of us come from, or the problematic situations in our families that seem to kind of like continue. And of course, when we're like young or whatever, we don't think it's ever like gonna happen to us. Like, no, I'm never gonna be like that person. I'm never gonna be like my mother or my father or whatever. But you're probably thinking like, well, I'm never gonna be like that and her in that way, like her or him in that way. But you find out like, whoa, it's not the drinking part, it's the addictive personality. You have a predisposition for addiction. So, and what I'm saying is that maybe it may not be or show up as the alcohol. Maybe it might show up as an addiction to food, or to love even, or gambling. An addiction is an addiction. So don't think that just because it doesn't look the same, because once at first glance you might say, oh, I think I escaped that, but really, have you? Look a little bit closer, because like I said, we have inherited so much more than just our physical, okay, just our looks. We inherit a lot more. And from what I understand, when a child is born, they inherit 35% of who they are. That means their DNA and karma and everything, right? 35% from the mother, 35% from the father as well, regardless if the child has ever been in the presence of that man, okay? It's the DNA, it's the cellular memory, it's the karma, okay? Period. So be careful who you have a baby with. Anyhow, so with that said, it's like really lofty purpose, but just a small part of our purpose. So again, 35% mom, 35% dad, and the remaining 30% is all like you, like what you bring, like because you obviously are a soul, and you have lived before, and you have your own stuff, or in a good way, good stuff, and other stuff. So 35, 35, and 30 is what you bring. So with that said, I want to talk to you about alignment. Now, standing in your power, you're awakened, you recognize your unique gifts, talents, or what have you. But are you aligned with those values of standing in your power? Like what I'm saying is, like, some of us, we talk, we talk a good game. We talk and we know, but do we walk? Are we aligned? Are there certain people that in your life that really are not aligned with who you are and what your purpose is? And it could be like a partner, it could be friends, it could be what you do for work, it could be anything. How you behave, what you eat, how you respect or not respect yourself. So what is it about you that is not in alignment with your true self? Because here's the thing, nothing changes if you're at cross purposes, whether it's your intention or not. So the important thing is to really tap in and ask your higher self, like, what can I do to get further aligned with my divine purpose? Okay, because we're, again, I'm not saying that to sort of like point anybody out. We're all learning, we're all on this journey together, and as we evolve, and get to next levels, there's always like more stuff to learn, more stuff. There's more abundance, but there's more stuff to learn and to heal. So getting in alignment with this higher self is really, really important on this journey, okay? Now, with that said, the next thing that I'm going to talk about is really simple. It seems sort of like, self-explanatory, but it's huge. And it's about replenishment. It's about filling your cup. Because here's the thing, when you fill your cup, then you have more to give, right? You have more to give. It's like there's no need in walking around with like a cup. You only got like, a couple of sips in there, and then you can't do all these amazing things that you're called to do and be and manifest. So replenishing you, and people call it many things. You can call it whatever you want. Replenishing self could mean like, are you taking good care of yourself? Are you doing self-care? Are you, loving self? Are you valuing self? Are you taking time to do those little things that make your heart sing? Are you nurturing self? It could look like anything, like simple things like, I really want to really say, I want to care for myself a certain way, like look a certain way or improve things, or rest or take a vacation or just spend time with self and read a book on the beach or whatever. Like, are you replenishing? And it could look differently for different people now. Like for me personally, replenishing self could be just like spending time alone. I call it like recharging, where I need to kind of collect myself back, because many of us, we give away like so much, and assisting others on their journey, taking care of people, operating in the world in our respective responsibilities or what have you. But it's important to replenish, because nobody out there in this realm could really be a leader and use their special, unique gifts to really help lead others and heal themselves. So you have to give yourself what you need to. This is important. Fill your cup first, and then you can assist others, and you have more to give. You have more to give, not only to yourself but others, and also the world. Okay? And then that's when the abundance comes in, because it can't be famine in your life. You're barely healthy, and you're all tired, and you don't drink water, you don't eat well, you don't do spiritual hygiene. Your home or your environment hasn't been created to be like this sanctuary. And many of us think that we have to have a certain amount of money or a certain place to live, or look a certain way to make that happen. Not at all. Trust me, not at all. As a matter of fact, the sooner you get started where you are, and even starting from a place that isn't ideal, it's like it just makes your story much richer. Okay? Because you won't stay there long, I can guarantee you that. Especially if you're walking in your divine path and you're standing in your power. No. You will be uplifted and rewarded quickly as you are able to understand your unique purpose, on this journey called life, and really being able to honor who you are. It's like, for me, I tell myself that it is a privilege and an honor to be me in this life. Okay, it's a privilege to be me. I tell myself that because it's like, even if I don't feel like it some days, but I know that ultimately that I have this purpose, and being chosen, it's like you look at yourself differently, because you know that to whom much is given, much is required. But it happens, and so naturally, and it creates more abundance and more ease and more love and more protection, and just more of all the best that life really has to offer. So I don't want you to really dismiss this replenishment business. Okay, it's really, 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 really huge. Okay, now I want to talk to you about something, again, really simple, but I don't want you to think that this whole spirituality and this whole divine purpose and healer business and all that is just about work all the time. Okay, because we're human, and again, it is a privilege to be called to be divine and to use your spiritual gifts to really uplift others. It's about making your life, making your world heaven here on earth. Heaven is really a place on earth. It's not just a song. Okay, it's about making right now, how you dreamed it could be. Simply put, how you can make it better than how you dreamed it could be. Because again, when you are walking in your divine purpose and you are taking your power back and you're being your authentic self and you're connecting with spirit to uplift and serve and heal as well, you are divinely supported and protected. Okay? So making your life, making your world heaven here on earth. Now, for some of us, that might look like what? I don't know. Being on an amazing island somewhere and having every day be so peaceful and quiet and stress-free. Okay, well, I can see that. I can see you being divine and standing in your power, being of service, fulfilling your purpose, and living and being anywhere you want. Really simple. Once you know your power, you know that you can do anything. You can have anything. Really, you can, if you have the courage to claim it. Because many of us think like, no, I can't do that, and this is why, no. Ask for that, okay? Ask for that. And it could look like, anything. Now, once we evolve and once we are our authentic selves, it might look a little bit, it might be easier, let's put it that way. It might be easier to identify what that looks like. It could look like a happy family life, where you can spend time with your family and you have abundance around you, you have a big home and everyone is safe and everyone is well, and there's lots of love to go around. And of course, you have the ability in your life to have a certain flexibility that kind of caters to your lifestyle, right? It can look like, being in front of 40,000 people on a stage, and using your uniqueness, divineness to really spread your message or help empower others or speak life into others. Yes, definitely. It definitely takes work, but it definitely is about the journey, not the destination. And you will get there. But along the way, you're building and evolving and strengthening, and you're like tearing off those band-aids of all those things that need to be healed, all the wounds and all the hurts and all the things that you carry around, so that you can actually show up as your real self. Because your real self, is amazing. And I guess what I want to say is why should we walk around perpetrating being somebody else? Because once the healed you shows up, you're like, whoa, everything is just so much lighter and so much easier. And I don't know how to put it, but it's like you are able to really see who you are and what kind of power that you gave away, because you start to call that back. Okay, so imagine making heaven right here on earth, not like someplace that you have to go later. Right here, right now. Okay, and that's part of the journey as well. And life, as it goes on, it has its different seasons, but it doesn't mean that it's all work and I gotta do all these things for other people and stuff. No, that's not it. I don't know if you're anything like me. I love the good life. I love the good life. I love a life of lux. Of course I can get down with the best of them in any corner of the world, but I deserve and I am worthy of the best that life has to offer. Okay, and that is what I desire and what I manifest. Okay, and it's not that things outside of you make you better, but if you have more abundance, then you can do more and you have more to give, right? Simply put. So it's kind of like one and the same, especially when you are standing in your power and your purpose. All right. So I want to say this is huge. This is huge, huge, huge. Okay, so listen to me. You're probably thinking like, okay, well that sounds great. Okay, so what's the catch, right? There's no catch. But I want you to know this is huge. You don't have to do it by yourself. You are not alone. Now, no, I'm not there with you every day. To kind of like, you can't like call me and stuff. I mean, you can't listen to the videos, of course, to really encourage you, which I love to do. But your spirit team. Let me put this simply: your spirit team, like your ancestors, your guides, your angels, like all that, and then of course some earth angels as well, right? They are there to assist you. So just like anything else, okay, you have a team, and you are, I like to say, think of it this way: you are head of this team. You are the CEO, and you are assisted by your spiritual team. So imagine having a board meeting, okay? You're the head, and you're communicating with your spirit team. And you are saying this, you're reporting, you're talking about goals, you're talking about, what's happening in your world. And they are there because they have respective jobs to assist you, to make sure that you are fulfilling your divine purpose. Now, isn't that amazing? And they have all kinds of skills. All kinds of skills. I mean, you can't even imagine. They can walk on water. They got the PIN number, to the U.S. Treasury. No, just kidding. But you know what I mean. It's like they operated in the 5D. So they know front, back, present, future, everything. Okay, you call on them, they can get the job done. It's about building that relationship with them. It's about building that trust with them. It's about really operating as a highly functional and effective CEO and wielding that power that you have, okay? Because here's the thing. Yeah, your spirit team, they're always there. And there are certain guides, angels that are with us from the time we came into this world. But there are many more at our disposal. But you have to take the courage. You have to know, and you must know that they are always there. But usually they won't interfere with things unless things get real funky. Things get really bad, like, oh my God, let's go in and save her because something's about to happen and we can't have that. Yeah, they might step in and create a miracle, okay? But also, do you know that you can communicate with them every day? Like really, like talk and hear and know names and everything, like see and get advice and all kinds of stuff. So think of it like that. It's like maybe you don't know everything. You're the CEO, but hey, you got a whole team of people that do know. So you're not alone. You just show up, but hey, like use your team, and you can create these teams and give them names and ask for like different helpers and experts, even for the smallest thing. So think about that. So knowing that, what is there to be nervous or afraid of? Like, you're chosen, you answer the call, you're here, and there's nothing that you cannot do. So go ahead and step into your power and live your best life. Don't be afraid. And even if you need people here around you, you know, because this is really important to have people here in the physical that you can call on, that that maybe are further along on their journey, that really know a lot more, that can assist you as well. And you will start to see that, you know, hey, they're right here. I didn't even know, because of course you didn't know before, because you were operating at a different frequency. But now that your frequency is a little different, you will start to see that they will be there. You will be guided, or they will be guided to you. And many people call them different things, you know. I mean, some people call it like, you know, your soul tribe, or whatever, you know. But it doesn't matter what you call them. You always get the assistance, especially if you ask. Okay, you ask. So with that said, don't be afraid to like, subscribe, share, or comment. Okay? Happy life, happy manifestation. Step into your power and manifest heaven here on earth.